What is up, guys? Kyle here, back with another video, little update on the V6. As you guys can see, the diffuser is on. We'll go over that more in detail. Have the interior completely ripped out with, now I have actually a harness hooked up on the seat. I'm going to show you guys a little bit how I did that. Super simple. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that beforehand, but there it is. And then we have tires, and what's going on the tires, new wheels. So let's get to it. Let's open up these wheel boxes, show you guys what I got, and just go over how this car is going to be different for these next coming events. As you guys already saw, the front splitter on the car, it is very high off the ground. I know it's very high, it sticks up, but with the new wheels and tires, that will be lower. So we'll jump over here to the wheels real fast. As you see, they have Toyo tires, Proxes RRs. They are the even more race version than the R888Rs. As you can see, semi-slicks, just 2 grooves right in the middle. They say they are DOT approved tires. As you guys can see, it says DOT right there. These are DOT approved tires. Go over here, warning, for competition use only, not intended for public roads. So yes, DOT approved tires. They will run in DOT approved classes, but they do say not for public roads, simply because wet or anything like that, it's not going to disperse the water like the R888s would, or any of these other wheels. And you can see these side grooves here come across. That's what dispels the water away from the tread. So these are going to be dry only tires. Now, let me get one down. They are much lighter than any of my other wheels. The reason why I made the front splitter so high is because of this. Let me throw this up next to the wheel real fast. So we'll flip the camera. It rolled forward a little bit. As you guys can see, they are smaller. So they're 18, so they're 1 inch bigger on the rim size, but they are smaller overall. So having smaller tires is going to lower the car. So, I mean, it's going to be the same with the front. The front is going to drop about 2 inches, which will make that front look a lot better. Now with the rear diffuser, you guys can see it is pretty big. I didn't want to make it too large because of how the exhaust fits. I don't want to do anything with that. So it is an expanding chamber. You can see the connection points there. And there's also a connection point all the way in the front. And then it's sealed there. A little see-through, but there's no airflow getting through that. Doesn't stick out very, very far, but it is there. As you guys can see, it is low already. So maybe when we drop that, we'll have to adjust the rear ride height just a little bit. So I put some heat resistant tape on it around where I thought the areas around the exhaust would need it. So that way you see a little bit there in the front, but it is pretty solid for very minimal attachment points. So hopefully that stays. I am kind of worried that it doesn't quite sit high enough to begin with, simply because when we drop the rear, that's going to drop. So it's either going to clearance itself, probably going to adjust rear ride height up just a little bit, just to make sure that you don't have any issue with that in the first event. It just gets ripped out. But having the entire interior out, we can, you know, put all my wheels and tires and everything in here. You know, I can just throw everything in there and hopefully it will all fit with all the supplies I need. I can drive on this, on the current set of wheels, and throw these on at the track. Now, switching gears, have a Sable 4-point cam lock seatbelt. And what I did was I ran it through this and put in the anchors. And that's how I attached the points. So those car seat anchors that come with the car normal, I literally just threw one back in for the driver's side, attached it in there, and it is perfect. So a little hack there. You don't have to make custom brackets. Not gonna waste the money or the weight of a harness bar or anything like that. Just put it straight in there that people would use if they kept their rear seats in. I mean, it fits. Why not use it? And last but not least, I have the new wheels. There actually is 2 in a box, surprisingly, or there better be, or we are going to have a problem. Because I ordered 4, and they only sent me 2. Not gonna work. But that box is kind of big. So let's see. Let's get this opened, show you guys the new wheels, where they're from. Nothing too crazy with them. Just wanted something that will fit. As you guys saw, they are in fact 18s. They are going to be somewhat wide, but not overly wide like these, trying to save a little bit of weight. Based on my calculations, probably save around 15 or so pounds a wheel or wheel tire setup, just with, you know, the smaller rim, smaller tire, stuff like that. So let's get to it. Let's open this up and show you guys exactly what I got. Okay, let's get this opened up and see exactly what they look like, and I'll explain where they came from. You'll see where they came from as soon as I get this main box open. Now, you guys know that I have gotten wheels from many different places. Lightspeed Racing Magnesium. I've gotten a couple sets of signature wheels. These, obviously I've gotten some before. I have those 305 wheels over there. So I have had quite a few wheels. Got these open. As you guys can see, they are Apex Racing wheels. Right there, you can see EC-7s, 18 by 10s. So they are on the bigger side. They did come 2 in a box. There's the first one. Second one is down here. EC 18 by 10. There they both are. Let's get one of these open and see exactly what they look like. So I did opt for satin black. The offset's 40. Actually, they're all offset 40. You want to see how it looks. I wanted something that I could rotate around depending on how the course was and things like that. Didn't want a director tire and didn't want a tire that, you know, if they were staggered set, obviously front can only stay in the front, rear can only stay in the rear. I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to rotate it around proportionally, and I wanted to make sure that, not proportionally, I wanted to rotate it around depending on, obviously, tire wear, things like that, and didn't want to be set with rear only being a rear and front only being a front. And of course, had to be black because it's a blue car. About everything else on it is black. So far, packing of this looks pretty good. Rim protector on it, cover. Ooh, these look nice. Let me get this out, pull it up for you. Classic, you know, that Mustang look. Right there. And they did come. Oops, very nice. Of course, you gotta have matching. Oh, they're taped to the box. The Apex center caps. Went with a satin black, a little different than I normally do. This is the first set that's ever been satin black. These are gloss black, as you can see, a lot more shiny. This is more of a dull color. Yeah, so everything has been gloss black from these 305 forged here, the Lightspeed Racing wheels, to all the signature sets. They've all been gloss black. The signature set, the drag wheels did have that orange accents there, but went with a satin black to kind of change things up. The other options that I was looking at weren't the white, you know, the ones that look like that. Did not want anything like that. So it was either the black wheels or, you know, those gold ones. I think the gold and the blue would have looked really nice, but I only had 2 in stock, and I didn't want to wait forever for those to come back in stock. So these wheels look really good. As you can see, a ton of concave to it. I think these are going to look really, really nice. So I want to make sure fitment and everything looks good on. They are specifically designed for an S197. So what I'm going to do is jack up the rear, throw it on, make sure it looks good, and then jack up the front, make sure fitment looks good, all that kind of stuff, and just make sure it looks good before I mount it. Because once you mount, basically the rule of thumb is when you mount wheels, that's it. You can't return them, but you can return them before you mount them. So when I get set up, get them on, take a look how they look. As you can see, these things are much lighter. There it is. Yeah, that looks good. So we throw the tire on there. Throw the center cap in the center. Good concave. Nice. Let me check. Room back here. Plenty to the strut tower. Doesn't look like it's going to be rubbing, but we will have to see later once I get the actual tire on. That should work. I've been instructed that this will clear. Well, it looks like it is hanging a little bit. Looks like we'll have it be more flush than the other setup was. So I just got on my hands and knees and got underneath the car. There should be plenty of room with those tires. I think that is going to look really good. Don't forget the apex little center cap is going to go there. Probably going to keep the chrome ones just because I'm not going to spend the money on buying new. Initially reached the 5K budget limit, $4,950. That's everything. That's these wheels, tires, all the mods that we've done for the vehicle so far. That includes the money spent for the plywood for the front and back and the replacement to this. Most of you guys have noticed that this is in fact not here anymore. When that comes, I will show you, but until then, not gonna say anything about it. But this will not be spoilers. There will be something here to obviously complete the rear downforce. But yeah, guys, around, that looks really, really nice. I'm super excited to get these mounted and on the car for real. Let me drop this down just a little bit. I'm gonna use two hands for this because I wanna see the distance between there, how low that goes. But I wanna make sure I don't drop that on the ground. I'll be super slow about it. So it looks like the wheel is hanging down just a little bit. You can see the space up there. But there is plenty of room there, so that is kind of reassuring. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll know for sure until we get a tire on that, get the full weight of the car on it. Let me move this so you guys can really see it. But yeah, you can see all the space up here. Yeah, this space up here shows that the wheel is full extension, so we might not, so that space for the diffuser isn't accurate until we get actual weight on the car. There's the front. Looks great too. Maybe we'll stick out just a little bit, but that's okay. The wheel's gonna tuck more when you get some weight underneath it. But I think those are gonna do just fine. Especially with the new setup, gonna be much lighter. So there it is, guys. New wheels and tires are here. I get them mounted and balanced on Monday or Tuesday of next week. Can't remember, gotta look at my calendar. But as soon as I get those on, I'm gonna get them on the car and then drive it just a little bit to make sure everything feels good, stuff like that. And also I wanna get just a little bit of scuffing in on these tires because they'll grip most after a heat cycle or two. And I just don't wanna overdo it. I'm not gonna drive them there because that will kind of wear them out, wear the grip out. But I do wanna get a little scuffed in so that way they have maximum grip the first couple of runs. I'm not getting them finally into the grip, you know, runs 5, 6, or maybe even not at all, depending on the temperatures. But there it is. Super excited. Look how good that looks. I'm excited, guys. Hope you are too. As soon as we get those on, we'll get them going. But since I got the wheel off, you can see a little bit of how I have them mounted, which I showed you guys in the last video. But there it is. There it is. Man, look at that. Just love the way those wheels look. The concave of the wheels, everything. Perfect. I'm super excited about those. Hopefully with the actual wheels, they fit just as good as they look. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the rest. So there's one on top, one on bottom there. I'm gonna open up the rest of the boxes, make sure the wheel finishes look good. I don't care about the inside, the housing or anything like that. I just care about the face, as long as those aren't scuffed, scratched, anything like that. And we will get them, we'll get them going. But yeah, so we'll get those on. New events coming up here. There is one in September. I don't think I'm gonna go to it, but there's two in October. October 1st, and I think 16th or 17th, somewhere around there. Hopefully I can get the rear downforce straightened out on that car. But for sure we'll have just a massive amount of grip from those tires for the last couple of events and show you just how big of a difference the tires make. You guys saw from the first video to the first autocross video to the second one, how those, just the different fronts made a huge difference. Imagine what more downforce and stickier tires all around is gonna be difference-wise. And I think, actually I don't know exactly for sure how much I'll weigh them once they get mounted, but this setup is gonna weigh less than that setup. That's less rotational mass, that's less weight the car has to throw through the corners. So hopefully this thing becomes a very, very competitive autocross car this being a V6. That way we can transition from this car into the next build. Already have it planned. It's different from what I previously told you guys. It's not the Daytona. That's okay. You guys are going to not be mad at me when I explain exactly what it is. It's just previous builds I've explained like what's to come, and I've either changed my mind or things haven't worked out, stuff like that. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to wait until it actually shows up, tell you guys. So we're just gonna keep playing with this until then. But I want you guys to know, knock on wood, if it continues, y'all are gonna be super excited about it. But yeah, Apex wheels are in. I get them mounted. Until then, I'll see y'all soon.